Joining me now, Stacey Stevenson, CEO of Family Equality. Stacey, thank you very much for coming to the Sunday show. Why do so many of these bills target children?
That's a great question. They are, in fact, targeting our children. They're targeting our families. And I want to ask these lawmakers, when is enough enough? You know, I can't speak to exactly why they're targeting children, but they're not backing down. In fact, they're doubling down on their attacks against children. You saw what's going on in Ohio. You saw what's going on in Florida. You saw what's going on in Texas, my home state. They are, in fact, specifically attacking our children, specifically attacking trans children, and they don't seem to be stopping. And I want to ask them, when is enough enough? Let's talk about really quick about what's going on in Ohio. Genitalia. Are we serious? An inspection. So you are traumatizing these kids even more. So not only are you excluding them, but now you're going to traumatize them even more than the trauma that you were already causing by excluding them. When is enough enough?
So then how do we fight back? Because some of these are proposals, some of these are now law. So is there a way to fight back?
There is a way to fight back. Organizations like Family Equality. You need to support organizations like Family Equality so we can do the work. We're going to fight those bad bills. We're going to tell our stories, and we're going to continue to be visible. And I think that's the way that we continue to fight is that, and by the way, I know some people don't want to be visible right now because they are scared. We are in a very scary place. And if you don't want to be visible, I get it, but we got your back. I got your back if you don't want to be visible. But the way our community fights is by telling our stories, by coming out and showing people that we are not deviants, that we are not these people who are evil, that my family is just like any other family. The way that we fight is support LGBTQ plus organizations. The way that we fight is to educate ourselves. The way that we fight is to inform people that our families and our kids are just like anyone else. And we speak out. We speak out.
Are legislators listening? I mean, it's one thing to be out there and being vocal and protesting and marching, but are legislators even listening?
I think some are listening, but I think in large part, I don't think we're doing enough. I don't think we're listening loudly enough. I don't think we're listening intently enough. If so, then I think more would be being done, right? I mean, think about what's going on with transgender children, and the effects of these laws really is a life or death situation. So legislators need to listen intently. They need to act quickly. And so, yes, I think some are listening. I think some are not listening. But you need to listen now because this is a freaking crisis.
And, you know, we're talking about dire things here. But you're the president of an organization where part of your mission is also to give hope that the fights that are being waged can be won. What keeps you going? What gives you hope amidst all the fights that you have to undertake?
Yeah. A couple of things. Number one, what keeps me going is because I do not have a choice in this. And what I mean by that is because through my story, which you heard a little bit about it, and what I've gone through with the tumultuous coming out and discrimination when I was trying to build my family, I feel like I have a responsibility to fight the fight for our community. But the other thing that gives me hope are those two boys, my 7-year-old twins, Duke and London. And when I look into their eyes every day, when I go into my office to go to work, when I look at my family structure, something I really didn't have growing up, that's what gives me hope. And I want every LGBTQ plus person who wants a family, who wants kids, to be able to have a family. And so that's what gives me hope. And
also what gives you hope is your dad.
Yes.
And real quickly, talk about the evolution of your dad.
Yes. So, you know, my dad and I, he's always been my hero. And when I came out in high school, it was very hard for him. And think about it, machismo, black man, right? And cultural, you know, barriers, I think, played a part in that. And we broke apart. And we didn't talk very much, and it was very tumultuous, and my heart was broken and his heart was broken. And then you turn to today, 20-something years later, you saw my dad a couple of weeks or so ago.
Right, at the gala.
At the gala, and my dad is speaking on behalf of our families. He's speaking to support his gay daughter. He is speaking to support his grandsons and his daughter-in-law. That evolution is possible. And I would like to see more African-American people actually see that and actually be that, because we don't get to see that. A lot of times we don't get to see our parents supporting us in this very public way.
And it was really wonderful for me to see that with my own eyes. Mr. Stevenson, I know you're watching. And I wish that there were more Mr. Stevensons out there, because of you, we've got Stacey. Stacey Stevenson, thank you very much.
Thank you for having
CEO of Family Equality. Thank you very much for coming to the Sunday
Thank
Show.
you.